Hey guys, welcome back to another weekly watch list where we go over to give our earnings, levels, assessing all the news, earnings, everything this week. Coming up, what we're looking at Monday morning, what we're looking at equities as well as index wise, and how we're looking to go about approaching whether it's a scalp or an intraday move. Starting with earnings this week, pretty big earnings news report this week. We do have quite a few: Microsoft, Meta, Amazon, and Apple, as well as MSTR, which isn't here, but it is on Thursday as well. So we have a lot of news earnings this week wise, and we also have a lot of news as well. Going to the news this week, something to be aware of is just every day we have red file news, especially around our trading time hours typically. So going into Monday, there's nothing. However, Tuesday, going into this, we have at 9 a.m. S&P Composite 20, HPI 10 a.m. Jolt job openings, consumer confidence. Wednesday, we have at 8:15 ADP non-farm employment change, 8:30 a.m. Advanced GDP, employment cost index, and advanced GDP price index. 9:45 a.m. Chicago PMI, 10 a.m. core PCE price index, pending home sales and personal income. Looking at Thursday, we have unemployment claims, final manufacturing PMI, and then at 10 a.m. we have ISM manufacturing PMI, ISM manufacturing price indexes, as well as construction spending. So Friday, our final news report at 8:30. We have three substantial news reports of average hourly earnings, non-farm employment change, and unemployment rate. So definitely some significant news. Going into our levels this week, starting off with QQQ. Looking at a upside bias for sure this week. Definitely upside sentiment. We can see just from basically the downtrend channel break here. If we go over to the daily, it's a really prevalent break here. Obviously, break above, closures above, so 4 hour as well as a good showcase of this. You can see, so having the closures, and I'm looking at a fair value gap rejection upside as a 465 rejection bottom out. That would be basically a break below, would look to be my entry for a reversal to upside. That's basically how I'm looking to take this trade here. We have a larger 4 hour time frame fair value, and then also a 1 hour time frame fair value. So I'm really looking at the 4 hour break and support at this 4 hour trend for a position entry on this. Maybe even 475 as a scalp here, potentially, depending on how we end up reaching those levels. So going into ES, it's going to be very similar in the approaches. Obviously, levels going to be very similar here. So we have highs, lows here, local lows. There we go, local highs. So you can just see some basic levels right there. 5,562.25, 5,600 going to be another key psychological level. And then we have the low here. Like I said, I'm looking to kind of bounce off at 54.80, that area. It's kind of what I'm looking at there. Again, there's another fair value gap structure right here as well. So just something to be aware of and be conscientious of going into this week. So going into our actual setups, we have Google, Netflix, Tesla, and PLTR. So kind of some oddities on this one. However, Google, I'm looking for actually a scalp at 160 and then a reversal back up from 160. I'm not looking to take this as anything more than a scalp, obviously, at 160. So I see a fair value gap structure here. This is definitely a area of support and definite probable rejection. So I'm looking strictly to take this as a scalp and then flick this up to the upside for calls. So because this looks to me as a very, very strong upside move structure basis here. So and have a larger target for sure. This would be an intraday trade on Google. Looking at Netflix here. Netflix is going to be looking at entry at 11.0680 and target going to be high of day for pre-market high on Friday. I'm looking at 1110 as a separate trade here on Netflix. Probably going to be looking to take this at 1109 or consolidation break, wherever that ends up starting itself, and a breakthrough into that 1110 level there as well. So target going to be just strictly at the 1110 break, of course, there with Netflix lacking a lot of continuation. Next setup, obviously, Tesla here. Tesla looking really good. We have support on a fair value gap here. Looking to see a rejection here and take it out as a rejection play straight up into 285 approximately. Taking out this 285 from the rejection of 280 there as a calls play to the upside through 285, 286.85, and potentially all the way up to 290 as a continuation move there. I think we're going to get a similar move that we did Friday, the way this is setting up here. So that's how I'm looking to play this as an intraday move more than a scalp, right? PLTR, kind of same thing as the similar narrative as what we saw with the other trades here. Support and going upward. But I'm looking at this as more as a scalp, not much of a continuation move, depending on how it does approach. Going through 115 here as the target. I'm looking to take this, depending on how it approaches, maybe at 113.20 or closer, and I break above that level there for final target profit. So overall, that's going to be all the given setups this week. I'm not looking at anything else. If you guys have any questions, any concerns, comments, leave them down below. Give me a like. Let me know any suggestions you have. As all, thank you guys for ever watching, and let's go this week and stay profitable. Peace.